Solving inequalities start out very similar to solving equations. We need to get the variable isolated. That is, we need to get it on one side of the equation, well, in this case, the inequality. Now you'll notice I've got variables on both sides as well as constants on both sides, so we need to do a little bit of manipulation. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to move my x's, my variables, to the left side. I need to subtract 6x from both sides. Leaves me with negative 3x minus 1 on the left and 2 on the right. Now that negative 1 that I have on the left, I'll move it over to the right, need to add it to both sides. Last thing I need to do to get my variable isolated, I need to divide both sides by negative 3. However, and this is a very important point with inequalities, when we divide or when we multiply by a negative, this only applies to dividing and multiplying by negatives, we actually need to switch the direction of the inequality sign. So there's our solution as an inequality, but I've asked for the answer as interval notation. So to go back to interval notation, we have one endpoint, negative 1. Our second endpoint is either going to be negative infinity or positive infinity. Taking a look at the relationship between x and negative 1, x is greater than negative 1, which means the numbers that we're shading are on the right of negative 1. So our endpoints will be negative 1 on the left, infinity on the right. As always, infinity cannot be included. We can never reach infinity. It gets a rounded bracket. The inequality sign tells us that negative 1 is included. It gets a square bracket.